Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Mile High Huddle here at Sports Illustrated. I am your host, Kim Becker, and joining me is Deputy Editor Zack Kelberman. Zack, I want your take on Patrick Surtain. The first round of the 2021 NFL Draft has completed, and the Denver Broncos grabbed Patrick Surtain. How do you feel about this one?
Well, I'm not throwing up my hands like the rest of Broncos country, Kim. I'm not going crazy about this pick. Was he my first choice? No. Did I think the Broncos would actually take him at number 9? No. Did I think he'd be there? No. But those things happen the way they do. And the fact they passed on Fields, they had Mac Jones fall into their laps, that caused a lot of Broncos fans to say the season's over, cancel the franchise, just dismantle them. It doesn't matter anymore because they have to go forward with who they have. But this is the same exact game plan, Kim, that George Paton, we talked about this on Kelberman's Corner multiple times. This is the same game plan Paton was laying out the entire offseason. He was never going to reach for a player he didn't love, and I don't think he was totally in love with Justin Fields. I think if there's one quarterback in this class he was in love with, smitten with, that was Trey Lance, who went number 3. So he stuck to his guns, and Patrick Surtain, according to him and Vic Fangio, that was the number 1 player on their big board. So let's think about it for a second, Kim. The Broncos didn't panic. They didn't move up. They didn't move down. They stayed put, and they landed the number 1 player, so they say, on their big board. So do I give it an A+? No. I would have liked maybe a trade back, maybe target an inside linebacker, maybe even leverage that quarterback that fell into their lap for another team that wanted to come up for them. But I'm not crying about it either. I'm not surprised either. This is who George Paton is. He handles things his own way. He governs his own way. This is no longer John Elway's Broncos, Kim. This is totally George Paton's Broncos team, and he's going to continue doing what he thinks is best for the franchise. And he thinks adding Patrick Surtain to this secondary, which is totally a 4D chess kind of move, by the way. The same mindset we've been talking about on KK. He's thinking not just for 2021. He has a 6-year contract. He's thinking 22, 23, 24, 25. And next year, look who's a free agent. They only have Kyle Fuller on a 1-year deal. Callahan's a free agent. Ronald Darby's an injury risk. Essang Bassey's an injury risk. So if you look at it that way, the Broncos could badly need cornerback help this time next offseason. And instead of panicking then, George Paton thought about it now and had enough foresight to address it now. So I like the pick more than I hate it, Kim, and I'm not totally surprised that he passed on a quarterback to take a cornerback.
It's almost as if we have to take George Paton for his word and everything that he's been saying, aka he was high on Drew Lock.
Wild.
It is wild, right? But in this day and age, it's hard to really accept that fact that we do have to take people for their word sometimes, and they're not all just smokescreens.
That's right. And he is who he is. And he hasn't been deceitful, Kim, throughout this entire process. He hasn't thrown smoke screens out there and tried to, mislead the public, mislead the press. He said, we're not going to be reckless. We'll be aggressive. He was involved in every deal. He was apparently, involved in the Aaron Rodgers talks that kind of fell through for now. He might have those coals in the iron going toward the future as well. So if you think about it, he landed the top player on his big board and has 2 quarterbacks on the roster already, and you and I can debate the merits of Drew Lock and Teddy Bridgewater, but it gives him the flexibility later on, post June 2nd, by the way, to maybe acquire a future Hall of Famer by the name of Aaron Rodgers. And if you do that with the pieces he added in the draft by not panicking, by not reaching, by not taking Fields if he wasn't falling in love with him, he gives himself that chance, Kim. So bravo, George.
Bravo, George. And possibly one more name, Zack, that you and I can talk about on that quarterback carousel, but that is for another time and a whole other video. So, Zack, thank you so much. I appreciate your time on this one, and I know that you and I will catch up again in a couple days to go through everything else that happened with the Denver Broncos and the NFL draft.
Of course. Thanks, Kim.